Hey guys and girls out there in MIDI Guitar land, it's Doily coming at you from Seoul, South Korea. It's the 8th of January 2025 here, and the iOS and iPadOS beta from MIDI Guitar 3 was just released a couple of days ago. I made a quick video at the time and it's had quite a lot of views and interest, and a few people have asked questions about how to get it up and running. So I want to do a quick rundown of how you work with the standalone and with the audio unit version of MIDI Guitar 3 to get your pitch to MIDI happening. So today I'm going to be using AUM as my audio host, and we're going to look at the two methods. So number one, we're just going to take the standalone application MIDI Guitar 3, we're going to open it up, and you can choose this preset here called MIDI Guitar Mini. Just verify your audio settings here. I've got my guitar coming in on channel 10 on my audio interface, and I'm using recommended buffer size and automatic threading. Now this doesn't actually produce audio at this point because I'm just using the MIDI Guitar MIDI preset. But you want to be aware that over on this MIDI output block here, you've got this message here, sending MIDI to MIDI Guitar out. That's the virtual MIDI port created by the application. Also to the right of that, you've got the option for the kind of MIDI you want to use: MIDI 1 Legacy, MIDI 1 Multi-Channel, or MIDI MPE. You've got the option to change channel pressure to aftertouch or cut the pressure out altogether. I'm going to leave that on. And then you've got your bend range, which you can have set at no bend, 1, 2, 4, 8, 12, 24, 36, or 48 plus minus semitones. For most MPE synthesizers, you're going to want to leave this at plus minus 48. Okay, let's go back to AUM. Now I've just put this synth on this track here just because it's a well-known MPE synthesizer and it sounds great too. But basically you want to open up your MIDI port configuration here, and you'll see that this MIDI Guitar Out virtual port is being created, and you can just connect that to the synth on the grid. On the matrix, I should say. And if you want to use any of the passed through CCs, you can, for host automation, you can connect that here to the MIDI control port. Now that my wireless system is on, we should be hearing some. Okay, so we can see signal coming in here, indicated by these lights over here. If we go back to AUM, okay, so that's happening. As I mentioned, pitch bend range is very important. So when you go into your settings in your synthesizer, just make sure that you're receiving MPE. And the pitch bend range here, as I understand, is actually for the pitch bend wheel more than the actual input from the other device. But just beware how you go with that. If you have any problems, you want to make that match. Okay. So that's method one complete. Now let's have a look at method two. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down the standalone application, and you'll notice that when we go back into the MIDI configuration here, that port is now gone. In AUM, I have an input channel with my guitar signal coming in, and I've actually deactivated the output because it's not necessary. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to instantiate the MIDI Guitar 3 AUv3, and you can see it's actually open to the most recent preset here when you open it up. So that's all the same here. The only difference here is that it says here sending MIDI out to the track rather than sending MIDI to MIDI Guitar Out. So we'll see here we're getting all the signal coming into the audio unit. And it's just a matter of heading over into the MIDI configuration here and now selecting these ports, replacing them with the port that is no longer present. We'll take that out and now that's gone. Okay, so you should be cooking. Okay, so that's it. It's that simple. I would just point out that at the moment I'm using AUM at a very high buffer, 512, because I'm screen recording. But when I'm typically playing with this, I would set that down to 128 probably. It's pretty comfortable on my older iPad. It's a 2017 iPad Pro, the 10.5 version. So it doesn't support iOS, iPadOS 18. It's only going up to iPadOS 17, but it's all happening here. Okay, I hope you find that useful and helpful. If you've got any questions or comments, feel free to throw them down below and I'll do my best to answer them as best I can. And don't forget that there's a lot of great resources available over at the Jam Origin forum. That's www.jamosapien.com. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. I hope you're all digging the beta. Bye for now.